This holiday season, as the world celebrates in so many ways, some families are facing it apart, feeling the weight of loneliness. At a miracle of a community that cares, we are creating a space where everyone, regardless of faith or background, can share in the joy of this wonderful season. Join Santa and leaders from all walks of life for stories, special shout-outs, and heartfelt messages from loved ones near and far. Children are taking the lead with art and fun, helping us bring the gift of books to children everywhere. Children in hospitals, children to families of all faiths, and to fortify traditions of families. This season, let's come together as a global community, one that cares, one that gives, and one that embraces all cultures, part of the miracle. Join us from December 24th to December 26th, and let's make this season unforgettable for everyone. Introducing Shop, Click, and Pick, the simplest way to support those doing good in communities everywhere. We understand that shopping is a necessity, but with a slight adjustment, you can make a huge difference without spending any extra money. Here's how it works. Please visit communitypayitforward.us and navigate to the Find Your Partners tab. Discover our verified giving partners, which are trusted allies ready to meet your needs. Shop with any of the partners that resonate with you. Click a picture of the receipt or invoice, then pick the mission partner you wish to support and use their QR code to send the receipt directly to us. After that, all you have to do is sit back and enjoy your purchases, knowing that you've made a meaningful change for someone in need. Community Pay It Forward amplifies your business's impact by sharing the story of those who require your services, rallying support for those who need us all. Because no one needs to go it alone when we all come together. Hey, good morning, everyone. It's Zak Clayton, Community Pay It Forward, Community Dare to Care, and the pACT channels. I say good morning because I am reading this first thing in the morning, and I'm recording this because, well, we've had the issues we've had in the past. And I've got to tell you, this morning has started out fantastic. Let me go on ahead and share a little bit on why. Just looking at my old iPad, and if you look here, that's right, hockey's on. So I get to watch a little bit of hockey while I play this wonderful interview with this our fantastic guest. We talked a little bit about intuition and being an intuitive. And it's really cool because this kind of steps into the other half of my life, with my wife being a part of the paranormal world. There's quite a bit of um, synergy there, I guess is the best way to put it. But it's really interesting to see how it works in everyday life, because we make decisions in everyday life that deep down, should I be doing this? And I tell a story of a time when I didn't listen to it and it could have ended my life. And that has to do with the motorcycle accident. Hey, we will have a brand new partner to the channel, and I really want to make sure that we are saying thank you to everyone. And we are trying to make sure that we're finding a way to where we can get all of our sponsors, Jelly Schultz and Robert Senior are the first two. And now we are proud to introduce you to our brand new partner, brand new sponsor. Whoever said ignorance is bliss never ran a business. Did you know the vast majority of businesses don't make their products accessible to people with disabilities? And did you know that the collective buying power of people with disabilities is over $2 trillion? And if you're a business owner, you need to know how to make your business accessible so you're not leaving this money on the table. I want to tell you about my family partners at Real Life Access, who can help you connect with this underserved market. Real Life Access clients experience three amazing things. First, a reputation for accessibility that brings customers to your door. Second, a freedom of worry about legal consequences from not being ADA compliant. And third, increased revenue. Real Life Access team members offer common sense accessibility solutions which won't break your budget. These are business people who understand the challenges faced by all small businesses. They are also people with disabilities who know what it takes to be accessible. Check out their courses, coaching packages, and so much more at reallifeaccess.com. You'll be glad you did. We were just talking a second ago, my next guest and I, and we're going to be talking about something that is a little personal to me here in a little bit. When I did not follow what I should have, and in a way, glad I didn't. In another way, um, would have probably made my life a lot easier if I would have followed it. So I wouldn't be where I am if I followed it, but truthfully, I wouldn't be going through a lot of the same stuff if I did follow it. My next guest, and I am very, very happy and excited to introduce everybody to Anna Quigley. Anna with the Intuition Zone. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for asking.
Anna, I've got a very, very simple question to ask you first. And some people may think this is a silly question, but I think there might be a little bit of confusion a lot of times where people misinterpret uh, this definition. And I would like to ask a simple question. What is intuition?
Well, scientifically speaking, it's described as a power of obtaining knowledge that can't be acquired by observation, by reason, or even by experience. It's a deep sense of knowing or feeling that really transcends logic and reasoning. Our mind works in two ways, the logical side, but then we have the intuitive side, which is an innate gift that we are born with. We all have this. And sadly, not many of us use it specifically to its fullest capacity. that gut feeling, that flash of insight that wait, I'm going to turn here, or you just get wonderful butterflies in your stomach when you meet someone that you just feel connected with, or conversely, where you just go, oh, wait, something's not right here. It shows up in so many different ways, but it's available to us 24/7 to help us make decisions with confidence, to help us navigate challenges. It allows us to tap into our creativity, increase joy, simplify our lives. Doesn't have to be anything major, but it just empowers our life. And the question I always ask is, are we listening? Are we listening to this gift?
Let's go on ahead and let's just jump right into this, because you've got something called the 4 clairs.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And I'm going to let you go on ahead and explain the 4 clairs, and then I'm going to give an example of a time when I did not listen to one of these, and this is where my life, if I would have listened to it, it could have changed my life. It could have been, and whether this would have changed my life in the better, or, made things more difficult for me in the where I'm at. I definitely wouldn't be where I'm at right now if I would have listened to them. But let's go on ahead and let's talk about your 4 clairs.
Well, the 4 clairs are really 4 primary ways that intuition makes itself known to us. Since it's innate in us, of course, it comes through our senses. So the 4 clairs are really just how we identify and recognize intuition through those senses. So the first one is called claircognizance. And if you think about that term, that's the knowing. I know I have many times just said, I don't know how I know, but I just know. And it's this intense, like, doesn't make sense, but I know this is what I'm supposed to do. It's, the inkling. If you can't, decide on something, the intuition and that knowing is there to guide. A second one is clairaudience. So audio audience. That's hearing voices, if you will. And people talk about that still small voice that, oh, gee, it's just like this little whisper. Sometimes it's an audible, and I've had this experience where you think someone's there literally talking to you. You hear it that vividly, and it's guiding us. It may be, stop, wait, don't turn there, just as a car goes through a red light. It's these messages too. It's important to know they're always kind, they're positive, it's non-judgmental, these guidances, and very protective. The one that's most common and most easily recognized is what is called clairsentience, and that comes through our body. It is the gut feeling that we get that is just, this is great, or this isn't. Butterflies in the stomach, sinking pit, sometimes people refer to it, or that warm and fuzzy feeling. If you're looking at multiple places to live and nothing seems right, you walk into one and you feel at home. That's intuition. The last one I'll mention is when it's coming through your, the visual aid. Let's say I can't decide on a vacation between, am I going to the mountains or am I going to the beach? I don't know. We need a vacation. We're torn. All of a sudden, everywhere I go, I see signs for skiing in the Alps or in Canada or in Vail or wherever you are. Repetitive visual clues will pop up many, many times. And that's another way intuition kind of gets to us.
Well, I'm really glad that I don't take and listen to a lot of it sometimes with that last example, because I live in Colorado. And so, there's always things that are around skiing for
Yeah.
me, and I have never skied in my life. So if I were to listen to that last one, my vacations would probably be terrible. Now, in the summertime, I love it because I love to camp. Camping is
Yeah.
one of my favorite things to do.
Fabulous.
But so let me give you an example of something that I've went through, and you tell me if you would tell us where I I don't know. Help me decide. Did I mess up or did I not? And
Okay.
it goes back to August 14th, 2014, and I went 8 o'clock in the morning. I jumped on my motorcycle and I headed over to uh, the Windjammer, which is where I helped them clean up and I helped them set up for their event. And I was asked if I could come back that night and help them work the door.
Mhm.
And I didn't really feel it. I didn't feel like, you know, I didn't feel it. It wasn't one of those things that I was like, this is something, this is going to be great. This is going to be something that, I'm into do. And so I told them, you know what, I'll get back to you. I will get back to you here very shortly. And when I got home, I just knew, yeah, this isn't probably for you. This isn't what you want to do. There's just something not right about it, doing this tonight. And when I called somebody and I told them, you know what, I don't think I'm going to do this tonight. I was convinced, we'll just say convinced,
Mhm.
that, you know, for their sake, I should do it. So I ended up not listening to what I felt like. And then, as many people know, that night I ended up in a ditch for 7 hours.
And you're fine now, first of all.
I still suffer with headaches. Um, and I run this wonderful company.
Mhm.
We do the wonderful things that we're able to do. I'm sitting here and talking to you because I am a person who doesn't like to be bored. And so I started Community Pay It Forward. And, because of the disability, I am allowed to do this. But of course, I've got the disability, the brain injury, the headaches, and everything else.
Let me ask you a question, Zak.
Yeah.
What were you sensing? Where was that knowing showing up in your body or in your mind when you just were telling yourself, yeah, this isn't right? Do you remember? Was it a feeling? Were you getting the little voice that was like, not for you?
It was a knot in my stomach. It was a knot in my stomach, and it was just a complete and total disinterest of being there. I was just like, this just isn't something I should do. This just isn't, you know, you just, I just didn't want to be there.
Mhm.
And there was something just pushing me away from going. And the funny thing is that it was never something that I needed to be, to put myself in a cage, or as people call it, a car. This was a motorcycle event, and there was nothing that said, hey, you should roll up in your cage, don't take the bike. There was nothing, there was never any question in that.
Okay.
If I was going, I was going on the bike. So none of that was ever an issue. This was just, if you're going to go, you need to go. And you're going to be on two wheels.
And unfortunately, that's a hard way to learn a lesson.
Yep.
You have to look at the gift that came from that. You have a level of awareness now because you have that direct unfortunately, negative response to not listening and not honoring that message that your body, your life, your soul, if you want to call it that, was telling you. And that's actually one of the terms that I use for intuition. Like our car, or the GPS that we have on our car, we trust. Hey, I want to go from here to there, and we trust that the directions and the messages and the pathway that our car's GPS is giving us, we trust. And we just, okay, turn left. Okay, I'm turning left. We turn off the logical mind and listen to the car's GPS. Well, I call intuition our GPS, but it's our internal GPS, our God positioning system. This is our innate guidance system, our own. And the more we listen to it, the more easily we're going to avoid, unfortunately, challenges and problems like you ran into. But you've used this as a lesson, a learning lesson, and you've used it to transform your own life, which is amazing. But like a radio, really, if you think about a radio signal, it's tuning our mind to listen, tuning it to that frequency, learning to listen to that frequency, as opposed to the rational mind, or feeling compelled by friends, family to do something or go something against that GPS, internal GPS, that's saying it's not right for you. This is not where you need to go. And you can learn. There are a lot of ways that we can learn to improve and listen to this. It's finding a way to tune out the chaos around us, which is all the time. There's always things pulling our attention, but there are ways to learn to improve that. And that's my passion project now, is helping people learn how to do this and how to really listen to our GPS, our internal GPS.
It's really, to me, it's one of those, I couldn't imagine my life being any different than it is now. I was able to take this incident, I was able to take this part of my life and turn it into something that and I see this is going to be vital to the health and the well-being of other people, because we work with great companies. You and I are not working personally together yet. Hopefully that'll be coming soon. But we take wonderful companies like yours and we use it as a chance to change other people's lives. And we're able to take and work with people and maybe make them aware, because me making this decision, I was potentially 2 miles per hour or even 3/4 of an inch from not living anymore. So, there could have been a completely different outcome of this, So, I mean, it's a weird feeling personally, me talking to you about this, because this is something I don't, really like talking about. I don't like making it sound like, somebody, and I didn't say I was going to say this, but I'll say it. I don't like letting people know that, basically somebody guilted me into going that night. I don't want to, because I don't want to put that on them.
Right.
I went. Yes. I made the decision to go.
Yeah.
And it was somebody else who ran me off the road. It wasn't that person who ran me off the road. So, but I appreciate you talking to us about this.
Well, and your story is such a wonderful example, a horrible outcome, but I love that you're taking ownership. You did make the choice, and it's so easy for us. We want to please family, we want to please friends, we want to help others, but at our own expense when we don't listen to this higher power, this God positioning system that is always guiding us for our best. And we can't always have an example as dramatic as yours. Sometimes, I'll know I have to turn here. I don't know why. It was going to go this way, but now I'm going this way. There may be no significance, anything. Maybe I'll run into somebody that I haven't seen in a while, or nothing that's notable. But I always tell myself, well, maybe it could have kept me from being in an accident by doing this. I will never know. It could have just kept me from the inconvenience of sitting in traffic for an extra hour. You can't always know, but I have learned that it is in my life, it has never been wrong. Never been wrong. And this is where really learning to pay attention to it, to those signs, and honoring that that's a gift that's guiding us to our best. Simple ways, simple day-to-day things can be simplified.
Let me ask you this, and this is something that you and I didn't talk about, but I really would like to bring this up because this is something I deal with quite frequently when we talk to people about difficulties with, people having difficulties after they suffer the death of a loved one, where people sit there and they say, if I would have just gotten there a few minutes earlier, I could have saved their life.
Yeah.
How do we keep people from using this as that? And please forgive me if this is stated wrong, because I just don't know how to state it any other way. And maybe you can guide me on that. But how do we get people to stop using that as a crutch? You can't throw that on yourself.
Exactly.
If somebody does themselves harm, you cannot use your intuition as a crutch for their action, right?
Right. Absolutely. Ultimately, we have to remember that each of us is responsible for all of the actions and how we react to what happens around us. Tragedies like that, it's so easy for people to want to take responsibility. Oh, just as you said, if I'd only been there a few minutes earlier. Well, you were on your own path. We can affect people's lives, but ultimately we're not in charge. We make our decisions. People around us, unfortunately, make decisions sometimes that we like, sometimes that we have a hard time dealing with. And there's an expression, don't should on yourself.
Yeah, I like that.
It's like, I should have done this. Well, you did what you did for a reason. Now, sometimes that's intuition guiding you. Sometimes it's your rational mind. Well, he's going to be fine. Maybe you're tired, or maybe, the road's slippery and there's we make those decisions. I give you so much credit because you've used that to grow. You've used that experience to enrich your life, to enrich the lives of so many other people. Taken that and turned something good, but ultimately everyone makes their own decision based on either their logic, listening to their intuition, or not listening to it. And again, I'm such a firm believer from a lifetime of experience and stories like your own, that the more we can learn to recognize and listen to our intuition, the simpler and happier and more joyful, more creative. There's so many gifts that come from that, but we're human. I have so many ridiculous examples of when it was coming loud and clear, and I know I'm going to organize this, and I have to do this and this, and my rational mind was just screaming at me, no, do it this way. And when all was said and done, the easier path was right in front of me, and I didn't realize it until after I'd been letting my rational mind talk to me. And it's just, I laugh at myself because it's like, I'm helping other people do this, but I'm still human. I'm still learning every day. I have opportunities to listen or not listen. And, I'm trying to use those right now to help others as well.
Is intuition possibly the preemptive thought of fear?
Oh,
Fear, every single one of us is
good
is
question.
gifted with fear as a protection.
Mhm.
Um, is intuition possibly a preemptive feeling of fear?
Oh, I would certainly think they're related. Definitely. And that's an outstanding question. I have to think about that. Is fear our rational mind, or is it the intuitive? I lean toward the fact that that's intuition. It's again, the gut feeling is that, oh wait, why am I afraid? Okay, there's a saber-toothed tiger that's outside. Okay, my intuition's telling me don't go there. Our lives are a little subtler than that these days. So yeah, if that, again, learning to listen to those and recognize those signs in our body, if that fear is coming from, as you felt, it's like, something's, I don't need to be there. Now, is there other fear, like I don't feel ready to move forward with this, or I don't feel ready to, I'm afraid to get into this relationship, or I'm afraid to take the next level of work. That's another story, but we can use our intuition. Is this my resistance to growing, or is this not a good place for me to go?
Okay. I do know this. The one thing that I did learn from that is I do still ride. Whenever I get the opportunity, I still throw my leg over a bike. It's the best thing in the world to me. Other than my family.
Yeah.
But I love riding. It's spiritual to me. It's healing for me. It's such a beautiful part of my life. It is one of the I never feel more whole than when I ride. But I will tell you this, Anna, I will not ride if there's something telling me, don't do this,
Great.
don't do this. There was one point in time that I felt like, and I remember because I reached out to both of my sons and I said, boys, I just wanted to tell you I loved you, that I love you. And they were like going, Dad,
Okay.
what the hell? And I'm like, I really feel like I need to do that. And both of my sons told me, Dad, stay the hell off the bike. And
Oh.
they told me that. I didn't feel like there was anything wrong. I
Mhm.
just felt like I needed to tell them I loved them. But both of my sons said, Dad, stay the hell off that bike today. And I did. And I did. I was like, okay, I get it. I get it.
Mhm.
I'm not going to play around with it. So I did learn lessons. I am extremely happy at the result of what happened after the accident.
Mhm.
But I, unlike when I was 16, where I thought I learned everything, when I thought I knew
Of course.
everything, and, I just realized now that I'm in my 50s that I didn't know a damn thing. I
Right.
wish I knew a quarter of what I thought I knew when I was 16. But, now I don't have to be told twice, hey, that pan's hot. Oh, it's not that hot. Okay, well, I just seared off fingers. But um now I want to get to this part. Okay, so everyone who is we got a nerd story coming, so everybody get ready to geek out a little bit. You have a Star Wars example of intuition.
I do, and I love when intuition and these innate things are brought out in film and books. But my favorite is Star Wars, and I love the whole Star Wars thing. But Obi-Wan and the Force represent intuition. The opposite is the logical mind. Okay, so what's the difference? The logical mind. Okay, here's my chores for the day. Here's my to-do list. Here's what I'm supposed to do. I'm going to follow these things. Intuition, the Force, if you will, as greatly represented in the very first Star Wars. The Rebel Alliance is off to blow up the Death Star, and Luke flies down into the channel, and he's going to blast his missile and blow up the planet. And there's shooting, and there's things going on around chaos like there is in our everyday life. And he's looking at his computer, and he's monitoring. Okay, I'm almost there. I'm almost there. Pushes the button, and he just barely misses it. Okay, we're going to try again. We're going to try again. And as he's trying again, you hear the voice of Obi-Wan going, Luke, listen to the Force. Oh, okay. And he's still plotting and doing this, and goes, Luke, let the Force, be with you here. Let the Force help. Trust me. And what does he do? He shuts off his computer. Everybody's, in the Alliance is freaking out. What are you doing? What are you doing? And he goes, trust me. And he goes, and he just in that exact moment knows exactly when to hit it. The missiles go right into the portal. They all fly off. And in the background, you see the Death Star blow up into billions and billions of pieces. And then you hear Obi-Wan again, the Force. Remember, the Force will be with you always. If that's not a clear example of intuition and rational mind, I don't know. And it's a fun one too. It's such a great scene.
Yeah. And it's really so funny that you can use the science fiction, or how they use science fiction to really portray something that, every single one of us have.
Yep.
But let's talk about this in a history. And this is something I was just maybe thinking about. Could we, in which you've already said that, your GPS has something, the God positioning system.
Mm-hmm.
Is GPS something that earlier civilizations, let's just go with the First Nations, the First Nation population in the Americas, could they have used intuition as a and called it, a message from the gods, to
Absolutely.
where they use this to hey, our God said that we needed to be here, so let's be here, and this is, it turned out perfectly, and then they used it to form thought.
Absolutely. I mean, this isn't something that's new to us in this century. This was built into humans. However you believe we evolved or were, brought on into this life, it's built into us. And there's neurological evidence and research that that's so. How we survived through dinosaurs and ice ages and everything else, I've got to believe that mankind, our ancestors, our predecessors, knew how to pay attention to that. If you don't think there's a gut feeling that comes being chased by an animal, I'd be in that cave so fast. I think they had to listen to it more than we have. So many protections around us now. It's easy for us to dismiss it, to not, yeah, okay, and there's so many phrases and so many things, terms that we use that are really telling us, oh, that was your intuition. That was your intuition. All of a sudden, something told me to do X. Okay, what was that something? Okay, intuition, or was that a logical decision? Oh, it just dawned on me. Okay, I wonder what that was. We talked about the I don't know, but I just know. And I think it's funny because there's a commercial that I'm sure they're not thinking it's intuition, but we've seen the commercial where it's, oh, wait, I could have had a V8.
Yeah.
That's intuition, going, oh, wait, I missed that. I was being guided to that and I chose something else.
Yeah. Well, hey, folks, we're going to take a really quick break. It's only about a minute and 20-second break, and we're going to talk about the QR code you see above me. This is our event where we are reaching out to people of all cultures, I think that this is a perfect time for it because we were just talking about different cultures. December is a month where people feel loneliness. They feel the heavy of loneliness. They feel they miss their families. They miss their friends. They miss things that are going on. And December is one of the worst months when it comes to suicide. You all know that Community Pay It Forward takes suicide very seriously. We are starting this program to help kids in hospitals by collecting books all over the world. We're going to have stories from Santa Claus, stories from cultural leaders in a massive, massive recording. We're asking people to take and record messages to loved ones who cannot be with them at this point in time, just to let them know all over the world that we are here for you. If you want to find out more, just look above me, scan this QR code, and you can be part of something that we are calling the miracle. And this is the miracle of a community that cares. This holiday season, as the world celebrates in so many ways, some families are facing it apart, feeling the weight of loneliness. At a miracle of a community that cares, we are creating a space where everyone, regardless of faith or background, can share in the joy of this wonderful season. Join Santa and leaders from all walks of life for stories, special shout outs, and heartfelt messages from loved ones near and far. Children are taking the lead with art and fun, helping us bring the gift of books to children everywhere. Children in hospitals, children to families of all faiths, and to fortify traditions of families. This season, let's come together as a global community, one that cares, one that gives, and one that embraces all cultures, part of the miracle. Join us from December 24th to December 26th, and let's make this season unforgettable for everyone. It's going to take all of us to make a difference, but you know what? Every person is different. I am no different from you than I am from someone else. And this is a time when we respect that, you know what? No matter who it is, no matter what culture, no matter what religion, no matter what political party they are, there's people out there that they miss this time of year. And we want to make sure that we're giving them a shot to lift a little bit of that depression. So now let's get back to our guest, Anna. Let's talk a little bit about what you are doing at Intuition Zone. Can you explain to us exactly what the Intuition Zone wants to do?
The Intuition Zone wants to be a platform for transformation, for really growth, personal growth, in assisting people to learn to recognize, first of all, how intuition is speaking to them, coming through them, again, either through the knowing, through visual cues, audio cues, or that gut, physical feeling, and learning how to recognize it first and then follow it. And we offer tools, websites, a little bit is still in development, but tracking. I suggest tracking. I had that intuition, I had that feeling, and this is what happened. By starting to record those moments, we become more familiar with recognizing them. That's one tool. When there's chaos all around us, like being in the middle of the eye of a hurricane, if you can find a moment of stillness, if you're in a major decision, find a moment to step away, even a half a minute to calm yourself, do some deep breathing, slow down, get a little stillness. You can hear those signals a little bit more. So working with that, we're working on developing some courses that will assist. We'll have those available. I'm doing one-on-one coaching and speaking and doing workshops as well to assist, so that we can do one-on-one. And I would love to invite your listeners to submit their stories of how they listened to intuition and things that might have happened to them. And they can do that either through the website or by emailing me or reaching out through you. So ultimately, I love biographies. I love learning from other people's experiences.
You and I are so alike there.
There's
My Audible is so full of,
Yep.
As a matter of fact, I am listening to probably about my 13th book about Theodore Roosevelt. He is one of my favorite characters from the past.
Yeah.
And I've listened to every, I either love listening to people who are completely influential and wonderful, or I've got a fascination with listening to what has happened with people who have went the other way, serial killers, stuff like that. I've got a fascination of people's twisted thoughts as well, trying to figure out, what we should be looking for. The old saying, if we don't learn, we're doomed to repeat. So I'm right there with you on that.
It's what a better example of how did this person become successful, or what turned this person. You're talking about, serial killers. What makes that? I'm fascinated. I studied psychology for a long time too, so that's part of it for me. But if I can learn from someone else's experience, so gathering GPS stories. I got one recently from a woman who had an experience when she was 7 years old. And that just confirms that this doesn't come on when we become, of legal age. 7 years old, she was, oh no, I need to pick this, silly thing. She won a prize, but she knew what to pick. But I would love to hear other stories. Ideally, I'll put them together in a compendium, but I want to share them on the website and share them in, my talks and whatnot, because that's how we learn. We learn from each other. It's so much better than, short of our personal experiences. So,
Anna, I think that one of the things that you could really teach somebody is something that is very important, especially to entrepreneurs. And I don't want to say that. This is something that we all need to listen to, and it's taking that extra breath, taking that extra second before we post that negative thing on Facebook, or post
absolutely
that, send that message to somebody, because, oh my God, this didn't happen. This person didn't show up to this meeting. I am so sick and tired of this. And you go on a rant with somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
And you hit that send, and instantly,
it shouldn't have gone.
Damn it, I should not have done that.
Yeah.
And we are all so guilty of doing that. So,
especially when we're frustrated or feel angry. I mean, it wasn't there a thing years ago where they'd say, when you're angry, count to 10 before you say anything. I mean, that's still good. Take a couple breaths, step away from the interaction you're having with someone if you're being fired up, and listen. Your intuition will guide you there as well. This is what to say. It'll give you words that will not inflame, but may help resolve the situation. So,
other than this, and I think this right here, it pretty much answers the last question I have for you. And the last question I have for you is, what is our biggest mistake we make with intuition?
Not listening to it. We hear it, and our logical mind, we're so trained from early on in our lives that no, this is logical. This is the path. We make lists. We have, detailed elements of projects at work. Einstein, every major inventor has recognized the power of intuition. You use the logical mind, you can plan that, but those inspired moments, Bill Gates and Steve Jobs, and that, oh, I had this idea. Well, let's try it. Then you use the logical mind and you develop it. But it's learning to listen. And it's so easy not to, because we're programmed again from early on. No, is it logical? It doesn't make sense. Why are you? And as kids, I'm sure we've all heard this from parents. It's like, no, that doesn't make any sense. Do this. Oh, okay. So we're almost trained early on to ignore that intuition. So it's retraining. It's retraining our brain, but it's doable.
Yeah, it's funny with my wife being, being as prominent in the field of paranormal, and me being more on the skeptical side, which can make for a very interesting conversation. Let me tell you,
the intuitive and the
right,
rational.
right. And it is really funny because I do know without a doubt one of the things that, in the paranormal world, they'll say that spirits will go after children because children are more open to believing. They haven't been subjected to the ridicule of saying, oh my God, ghosts don't exist and stuff like that. They're more open to seeing things the way that things are, seeing things that are out there.
And they don't question.
Yeah,
they don't question what comes in. They don't go, that doesn't make any sense.
Right.
I have to do this. For them, that is exactly what makes the most sense.
Right. Seeing is believing, and this is what they see. And so, I mean, they don't have the lived experience of disbelief. So, and I think that, I with what you just said, that's the same thing as intuition. Look, I know that this is the way that, this is the way that my body's telling me, and yet mom and dad are telling me that that's not the way it should be. So I'm going to learn how to ignore it. And it's just that is, I see that as being something that we do to our kids. And I think we do, that's us trying to put our lives into somebody else's body. And that's really kind of something that we should not do. We need to let people make the mistakes. We need to let people touch that stove. We need to let people, yes, make sure that they're not going to touch that stove and then put their face on it just to make sure it's hot. We need to make sure that we do watch them a little bit, but we need to let people live, learn, and love.
What a great gift for raising your children, to raise them in that freedom to trust their own intuition. Just because they're 6 or 5 or 6 or 7 doesn't mean that gift isn't coming through. And as you say, we're so often just ignore it. So I want to share a quote that I pulled up. I have on the website from Oprah Winfrey. Everybody, knows Oprah. And I love this. She says, I've trusted the still small voice of intuition my entire life. The only time I've made mistakes is when I didn't listen. And I'm right there. I'm right there with her. Right there.
Well, I've said it many a time to where, you learn much easier from the mistakes that you make, but let's try to limit those mistakes. Okay. If there's something screaming at you saying, hey, dummy, don't do that, maybe you need to listen to that.
But it's interesting you say that, because that's our experience. And I'm going to challenge you on that. We learn more from our mistakes. Well, fortunately, we can learn from those. But as powerful as those are, if we can head them off at the pass, if you will, by listening to the intuition, how much more can we learn there? How much more can we grow? How much more can we, how much happier can we be? How much easier can our life be if we listen to that, instead of, oh, well, I'm going to learn on these mistakes. That's fine. Let's bless them because they do teach us. But let's focus on how much more we can enhance our lives by listening to the intuition.
Well, that's a great challenge. I like it. Let me rethink again. So, Anna, how do people get a hold of you?
They can reach me on intuitionzone.net. or they can reach out to me. I've got a calendar just being set up on the site. They can set up time to chat with me, to meet with me one-on-one, book me for speaking or coaching. They can reach me through the email, which you're going to post on that. Anna@annaquigley.com right now is fine. That's my personal email. I'm happy to hear from you and connect with you. So,
And
hear your stories.
yeah, and please, if you hear something that you like and you would like to reach out to Anna, just reach out to me and I will connect you.
Absolutely.
I would like to invite you back anytime that you've got more that you would like to share. I've really enjoyed this conversation.
Thank you. As have I. As have I. You've challenged a few thoughts and made me think a little bit too. So it's always a good learning and
Well,
expanding experience.
I greatly appreciate it. We've been talking to Anna Quigley of intuitionzone.net. If you have any questions, please, Anna@annaquigley.com is her email address. There will be a new email address added. But until that time, Anna@annaquigley.com. So thank you so very much, Anna. I do appreciate it.
Thank you, Zach.
Introducing Shop, Click, and Pick, the simplest way to support those doing good in communities everywhere. We understand that shopping is a necessity, but with a slight adjustment, you can make a huge difference without spending any extra money. Here's how it works. Please visit communitypayitforward.us and navigate to the Find Your Partners tab. Discover our verified giving partners, which are trusted allies ready to meet your needs. Shop with any of the partners that resonate with you. Click a picture of the receipt or invoice, then pick the mission partner you wish to support and use their QR code to send the receipt directly to us. After that, all you have to do is sit back and enjoy your purchases, knowing that you've made a meaningful change for someone in need. Community Pay It Forward amplifies your business's impact by sharing the story of those who require your services, rallying support for those who need us all. Because no one needs to go it alone when we all come together. And as we mentioned, there is a new, a different email address, as you can see at the bottom of the screen. It is, no, that says intuitionzone.net. That is not it. Sorry about that. It is Anna@intuitionzone.net. That is the new email address. Please reach out to her at Anna@intuitionzone.net. I'm pretty sure that for a little while you can probably still reach her at the other one. So if you don't happen to get the new email address, please just reach out to us and we will help connect you. I want to thank Anna very much for participating in Footprints Forward. Intuition, one of the reasons why I put this on Footprints Forward is because, you've got that feeling inside of yourself that sometimes guides what you do or you do not do. And especially when it comes to, it's fear before fear a lot of times. Should I do this? That tingly feeling that you get. So I really wanted to put this out here because maybe this is a warning that we are able to take and offer to people and change the way that they see things. My name is Zak Clayton, Community Pay It Forward, Community Dare to Care, and the pACT channels. I want to thank you so very much for joining us. We will be back again next week with another show right here on the pACT channels. Please, if you want to share your story, if you want to join our show, the QR code up in the corner is the best way to do that. Once again, Zak Clayton, Community Pay It Forward, Community Dare to Care. Thank you very much. We'll see you soon.